Good day everyone, I'm Veronica Lee Ramos and I'm here to present my chosen topic about the current social issue in our country, which is unemployment. Let me begin with the question, are you unemployed? Philippines is one of the best country that offers a lot of job. As we notice, some of foreigners wanted to go in here because they know there's a lot of opportunity in our country. But as we observe, Filipino citizens have million population but most of them are unemployed. Why? Because many of the Filipinos didn't finish their studies. And here in the Philippines, when you want to get hired, you must need to present your diploma. How will you get a diploma? You need to finish your studies. But most of the Filipino parents are unemployed, that they are not able to send their children to school. This graph shows the highly increase of unemployment of the Philippines as of 2021 according to NEDA. Unemployment is one of the main reasons why some of Filipino people doesn't have enough money to buy their needs, especially the food that we eat each and every day. Think of it. Where are you going to get money if you don't have work? Where are you going to get food if you don't have work? Our world revolves in money. Why do I say so? If you don't have work, you are nothing because work gives you what you need, work gives you money, work support you in anything that you need, and work give you life. Video, I'll show you example of real situation that is happening why some people is still unemployed. As you can see, job seeker number one is sad because he did not get the job position that suits his skills and course. He expected it so much. On the other hand, this girl got hired because she is the cousin of the admin of the APA company. Work in the Philippines have a higher standard in choosing the one that suits in their position. If the employee is one of the relatives of employer, they hired it. As you can see on the previous video, between the employer boy and girl, the employer boy is a typical citizen that finding his job and suits the character of the said position, while the employer girl is the one of the cousins of admin staff. So, the ending is they hired it, while the employer boy was declined. This must give action by the head of the company that choosing the right one for the position that suits to the criteria and not by the employer's favorite or relatives. Next is education. Education is the key to your success. Why do I say so? Because when you are a degree holder, you're easily to get hired. You have knowledge about something that you used to be. For example, in handling your paper, you know how to pass it on time, and not just in paper, but when you're educated, you know your responsibilities and obligations in life. According to ISA 2021, if you are educated, there's no probability of becoming unemployed. According to NEDA, or National Economic and Development Authority, unemployment highly increased in September 2021 as the country's economic centers remained under stringent quarantines and as weather disturbance affected agriculture. But employment prospects remain promising as the country shifts the granular lockdowns. The government must give attention about the granular lockdown. They must think a good way for the sake of the people that works in the company, especially the probationary. Probationary continue their job in skeletal schedule, and it will be mandatory to all the companies and implemented not by the government but also with the help of the HR or the CEO in the company.
That was barely enough to feed his family, but he says somehow they were able to get by. But life became much worse 2 months ago when the lockdown was imposed by the government to stop the spread of coronavirus. He is unable to work and pay for the house rent in Manila. So they live like this now, in a jeepney, begging in the street just to feed his family.
Yung nakakabiyahe tayo, naghihirap pa.
This is really tragic. I can see how my children suffers. They have scabs from our situation here. When our next meal will come.
Christian Garcia also says the pandemic brought more suffering for his family. He used to be a professional photographer, but when the lockdown of the entire region of Luzon happened, work stopped coming in too. He found a job as a delivery driver, earning less than half of what he used to.
Yung image na inaalagaan mo, na professional line ka na,
Imagine, I had years and years of professional experience. I swallowed my pride and rolled up my sleeves just so I can earn. Times are hard, but we simply don't have a choice anymore. It is a matter of survival now.
The Philippine government implemented one of the world's strictest and longest quarantines, a 2-month lockdown for more than 50 million Filipinos. The region of Luzon accounts for at least 75% of the entire economy. Quarantine restrictions were recently eased in an attempt to restore some normalcy and limit the economic damage after 2 decades of uninterrupted growth. But at least 2.5 million Filipinos have already lost their jobs since the lockdown began, and the government says millions more are expected to be unemployed this year. The impact of this health crisis is causing particular suffering to those who had very little to begin with. The government is giving cash aid to millions of impoverished families, but leaders admit resources are already stretched and much of the government's so-called calamity fund has been used up. Those like Julius who have always lived on the fringes say they feel left out. If the virus doesn't kill them, they say, hunger most likely will. Jamela Alindogan,